work on building our main shaft today to show you some of the things that the book doesn't show you. To start with, this is where the parts book comes in handy. You want to make sure you're on page 26. If you're on page 24, you're on the wrong main shaft. So 26 is where we start. A couple things to be mindful of. We've got 3 shift collars. If you look, 2 of them are coarse, 1 is fine. You have to make sure the fine one goes in the right spot. The parts blow up will show you where it belongs. We have 1 washer with the external teeth on it. That's the one that goes underneath of the reverse gear. And there's a little bit of a chamfer on it, taper here. You have to make sure that the taper, when we go to install this washer, is actually pointing up. These 2 are part number 9 in the parts blow up. You may not be able to make out the part number on them, but there's only 2. Last we've got these 4 washers. Now, what we should have is 4 of part number 14, and we should have 1 of part number 13. Usually you can't find the part numbers anymore, but the easiest way to do this is take a caliper, and there's a sticker label in the parts manual telling you that part number 14 is 233 thousandths of an inch thick. This one's 234, but that's as close as we need to be. So those 4 will be 233-ish thick. The one oddball that you should have is the one that they call the white washer. It used to have white paint on it, but it's 249-ish. Generally it'll show 250, 249, maybe 251. That washer specifically has to go in the right spot according to our parts blow up. So those are the things to watch out for with the parts. Now when you're assembling, use your service manual. It's going to tell you to put a washer on first. You have to make sure that the flat side of the washer at all times is going to ride against the flat surface on the gear. The tapered side, like so, is designed that the shift collar can actually butt up against it. So the book does tell you this, but we're just showing you for extra information. The trick with this, you put your washer on first. You turn it just a little bit in the groove so the teeth line up. What we want to do is take this piece of Synflex and feed it up the groove where the keyway is going to go. And the way we know where the keyway is going to go afterwards is you look for the roll pin or the little piece of weld. That's the groove that we're going to use. We stick the Synflex in, and what that'll do is prevent all these washers from jiggling and falling apart. Without the Synflex, the first time you move something, it's going to fall apart and you'll be starting all over. So, groove, and line up. Now, next piece that'll go on, again, follow your service manual, use your parts book to help you with part numbers. The next part will be the overdrive gear. The tricky part now is the spacer that goes in between overdrive and the 3rd-speed gear that is going to go on the main shaft. Drop this on. Usually what you have to do is very, very gently lift the gear and the washer and wiggle and turn just a little bit as you're gently lifting. I'm talking like maybe 5/1000ths of an inch until you get the washer to line up with the main shaft grooves, and then you push your Synflex up that little bit more. Key being now, as we work our way up, putting on gears, spacers, and washers, we keep feeding the Synflex through to make sure that everything can't shake itself apart and fall apart. If you start with this bit of information, follow the service manual, use the parts book to make sure the right part goes in the right spot, everything should be fine. There's a second video to watch once you've got your main shaft built. Continue the mock build up on the bench and make sure that we're actually going to get the last snap right.